Good morning. Don't you look swell today? Actually, swollen. So have some. There's a fresh pot on the table. Seriously, you look like hell. Your hair is sticking straight up like a... Oh, it always does that. Never mind.
Ha ha.
Did you dream about the fire and the hanged guy and that lion thing last night?
Leopard, not lion. Did you get anything on Malia Getty?
Well, I did get her address, but you're a little out of your league here, big fella. The Gettys own 3 local hospitals, just to name a few of their assets. They run in very high circles.
Did you get an address?
I got the address. I suppose this has nothing to do with the fact that Malia Getty is incredibly gorgeous. I should have known you wouldn't go for a rich, ugly socialite.
And that address is?
Hey, far be it from me to postpone your total humiliation. It's 557 West Ingram. That's the Garden District. Estate City.
That's all I wanted to know. And yes, my dear, Malia Getty is the most dangerous-looking diversion I have ever seen. Ouch.
Ugh, men.
Today's newspaper is on the counter. Times dated June 19th, 1993. A front-page article describes the most recent of the voodoo murders. Gabriel scans it but learns nothing new. The article reiterates that the voodoo aspect of the crime is faked. Gabriel shivers. It looked real enough to him. Elsewhere, there's an article about the history of Jackson Square, called the Plaza d'Armes under French rule. It was used for executions, firing squads, hangings, even impalements and breaking on the wheel. Yikes! Of course, these days, it's mostly a hangout for tourists, street musicians, and local artists. Gabriel also scans the Aquarius horoscope for the day. Chances of a dark star rising on this day. Do not trust your instincts.
I feel a dark star rising, all right. Rawr.
That doesn't seem to work that way.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Do you have messages for me?
You got a call from someone named Wolfgang Ritter. He was calling from Germany. He told me it was urgent. Maybe you should give him a call.
Call Germany? Like hell. If it's really important, he'll call back.
Well, fine. Let's just hope he's not with the German lottery for pitiful American authors.
Do you have messages for me?
Your grandmother called.
I keep meaning to get over there. What did she say? Did she sound good?
She sounded great. We had a nice little chat about you.
Grace.
Don't worry, I didn't go into detail about your cardinal sins. Not that anything about you could surprise her. She adores you anyway.
She's my girl.
And she sent over that box on the table for you.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Doing a family tree, Gabriel?
Very funny. I mean real snakes, you know, scaly, cold-blooded. I would have thought you'd find them empathetic.
Mm-hmm. I know very little about reptiles of any kind and prefer to keep it that way. I think there's a book on snakes around here somewhere, though.
Okay, thanks. What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
You're the native. Don't ask me.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
You won't get far questioning me about it, Sherlock.
What do you know about voodoo?
I've told you all I know. Sorry I can't be more help.
Tell me about yourself, Grace.
What do you want to know?
Just tell me anything at all.
I came to New Orleans because I'd read so much about it. I thought spending a few months here would clear my head.
Nothing, I guess. Never mind. So, what's new, Grace?
Your use of mathematics, for one thing. These books are unbelievable.
What can I say? I refuse to be bound by rules.
The strap marks on your bedpost speak otherwise.
It's a book about the world of snakes. The books on the table have been chosen for their special appeal. Recent fiction by the biggies. In other words, nothing written by Gabriel. Times dated June 19th, 1993. A front page article. The article reiterates that the voodoo aspect of the else called the, of course, Gabriel chance.
I feel it. Like I haven't tried. Don't mind if I do.
Do what?
Oh, nothing.
The old desk is one Gabriel picked up near a dumpster. Not too shabby, huh? Well, okay, maybe it is.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
I'm out of here. Try not to sell out the store while I'm gone.
Uh-huh.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back.
What can you tell me about snakes?
What does this look like? A zoo? Never mind, don't answer that. No, I don't know nothing about no snakes.
Interesting design for a trash can. Must have been on sale at Cops R Us.
Mostly, my man.
It's you. God help me.
Police department memos and other didactic blurbs. Whatever goes into those files never comes out. A microwave? If Gabriel knows Mosley, it's used exclusively for frozen corn dogs. That window has a lovely view of an alleyway, the brick wall of the building next door, and some creative graffiti. Mosley's desk has more growing on it than his head. Mosley was one of those beefy guys in his youth. Now he's getting lumpy. The badge in his front coat pocket is set off particularly well by the gold polyester of his jacket.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
Do you know anything about the patterns around the bodies?
Yeah, weird, huh? All 7 victims had those marks around. We've got all the marks on file, but we haven't figured out what, if anything, they mean.
Can I see the other 6 patterns?
Sure. People like that kind of stuff, don't they? Might make the book seem more mysterious. Go talk to Officer Franks. Tell her I said you could see the file.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
There's voodoo that goes on in this city, sure. I looked into it a bit at the beginning of this case, but the voodoo stuff found at the crime scenes is all fake. It doesn't have anything to do with the real stuff. I know. I asked some experts. It's intimidation tactics, that's all.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Lots? Can you be more specific?
Do you know anything about the killers?
At least 20 people attend the killings. We know this from the variety of footprints found at the scenes.
Footprints. Aren't those as good as fingerprints?
Can be, but we'd have to have a suspect in custody first. And the suspect would have to match one of the few distinct prints we have. Most of the footprints are smudged, trodden over, unreadable. These guys are so casual in their expertise, it's maddening. Like they know we'll never find them.
How many murders have there been so far?
7 murders have so far been linked to the voodoo murders case. The first murder occurred about 8 weeks ago. The MO is the same in each murder. Lake Pontchartrain was the 7th.
What kind of evidence have you found?
No fingerprints, a few bare footprints. Found a few fibers, but not many. The weirdest one was leopard fur.
Leopard fur. Describe the crime scenes.
Well, there's the corpse itself, minus the heart. Around where the body was killed, we find marks and flour and blood. There are traces of wax from candles, red and black. Ordinary wax candles, so the lab reports. Also blood and feathers of chickens and goat's blood. And plenty of the victim's own, of course.
What's the coroner say?
The victim's heart is always ripped out of the chest and missing. We haven't located a single one of them.
Lovely. Any idea what they do with them?
Don't even want to know. Also, the coroner says some of the victims had heart attacks before the incision. Literally scared to death. The knife wounds are consistent with a long, narrow, wavy-edged knife. Probably a ritualistic dagger.
Any witnesses?
Nope. There's never been a single witness. No one's even heard a disturbance. It's damned weird. Like they just don't want people to see. And so nobody sees nothing.
Know anything about the victims?
The victims are all out-of-towners. We still don't know why.
Oh, nothing. Never mind.
Sure, no problem. Okay, anything else?
Do you know anything about snakes?
The only thing I know about snakes is that I don't like them.
What's the status on the voodoo murders case?
It's going. I can't seem to make any progress, though. Sluggish damn case. It's weird.
What's the status on the voodoo murders case?
I told you, it's going for shit.
I got those photographs you left for me.
Really? Great. What'd you think?
Astonishingly lifelike.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You got any more ideas for photos for the book?
A cop-author photo might be nice.
You and me? Together?
Why not? Of course, you'll have to try to tone down your masculinity.
Well, okay. I'll call the police photographer. Franks, come in here a minute, would you? And bring your camera.
What did you need, Detective Mosley?
We need a picture, please. Make it a good one, eh, sweetheart?
Sure, sweetheart.
Say, chintzy.
Was there anything else, Knight?
Nope, that's about it.
Great. Thanks, Franks. Hey, I made a rhyme.
You're astonishing, mostly.
Don't call me that in front of the lady, wise guy. Okay, anything else?
I'll let you get back to it.
Later, Knight.
There's a temperature gauge on the wall near Mosley's office.
Hey.
Knight, come on in. Dang air conditioning must be on the blink.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
I got those photographs you left for me.
So you said. Did you think of any other shots for the book?
Nope. I think we have everything we need.
Okay, but you shouldn't underestimate the power of beefcake, my friend.
How about getting me some coffee?
Coffee? You want coffee?
Should that surprise you?
Nah, you've always been a caffeine addict. It's just that what we got here hardly qualifies.
So I'm desperate.
It's your stomach. I'll get you some when we're done talking.
That long?
All right, I'll go now. Don't touch anything while I'm gone.
I think I'll just borrow this badge.
Hey, what are you doing with my coat?
Nothing. I thought I saw something crawling on it.
Just drink this.
Thanks, tons. I mean it.
Okay, anything else?
I'm gonna hit the road.
Ciao, baby.
Excuse me, officer.
Yes?
You know, that uniform looks great on you.
Uh-huh. Is that a compliment, or are you asking to borrow my dress?
It's a compliment.
Well, you just never know around here. Thanks, but I'm married.
So, what's it like being a policewoman?
The glamour never ceases.
Can you get a file for me?
What file would that be?
The Voodoo Murders file. Detective Mosley said I could see it.
Really? Well, if you said so. There it is. You can look at it all you want, but don't leave this area with it, okay? And no photocopies either, I'm afraid.
Of course. I understand completely.
It's the official police file containing the partial patterns from the voodoo murders. The folder is marked with the warning, not to leave the police station. The police file contains partial patterns from the 6 voodoo murders. Gabriel opens and reads the police file.
I'm done.
Yeah, thanks.
Detective Mosley. Hard at work, I see.
Yeah. What is it, you wanker? Whew, it's hot in here.
Gabriel can't see a way to use that.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
I got those photographs you left for me.
So you said. Did you think of any other shots for the book?
Let's take another cop author shot.
What for?
I don't think we got your best side.
Really? Okay. I'll have Franks come in again. Franks, come back in here with that camera. I hate to put my coat on. It's so damn hot in here. But a picture's a picture.
Now what, sir?
This clown wants another picture. You don't mind, do you?
Of course not. What else could I possibly have to do? Ready? Smile.
Anything else, Knight?
Hold on a sec while I go check my hair.
Good God, Knight. Make it fast.
Just wanna check this machine here.
Would you just get in here? Hurry up, would ya?
Okay, ready.
Thanks, hun. Let me know when you get them developed. The photos, that is.
Yeah, sure.
Anything else, Knight?
How about one of me and Officer Franks?
Gee, I don't know. Franks? Just kidding, Franks. You want to get me fired for sexual harassment, Knight?
Well,
Yeah, ha. Now, is there anything else, or can I let this lady go back to her desk?
nope, that's about it.
Good. See ya, Franks.
Uh-huh.
Thank God I can take this thing off again. Damn, it's hot. Okay, anything else?
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
You and me grew up here together. You tell me. It's a pretty nice place, even seeing the stuff I see, you know. The Carter's getting a bit too wild, though. Getting hard to control. Not quite what it was when you and me used to hang here, but hell, I've never known anything else.
I'm gonna hit the road.
Ciao, baby.
Welcome, my friend. Hello. I am the proprietor, Dr. John. If you have any questions, I will be happy to assist.
Great, my name is Knight, and I'll probably take you up on that.
The voodoo shrine is filled with items that both fascinate Gabriel and also make his skin crawl.
They lend a certain psychotic ambiance, no? Well, that looks sacrilegious. Wonder who that poor bastard was. Magenta Moonbeam. Voodooian.
A flyer advertising Magenta Moonbeam, a local voodooian. Her parlor is on the corner of Orleans and Dauphine.
This coffin is so small. A waste of some perfectly good wine, if you ask me.
Flickering candles lend an appropriately spooky atmosphere to the museum. It's an electrical switch.
What does this do?
Turn that thing off.
Oh, sorry.
We have air conditioning, you see.
Yeah, I see.
The back wall displays various voodoo items, such as offerings of fruits to the voodoo deities. Even if that were for sale, Gabriel couldn't afford it. An authentic-looking pole marks the center of the room. Authentic what? Gabriel isn't sure. The pole is solidly connected to the floor. Dr. John is a huge man. If his manner weren't so pleasant, he'd be intimidating.
Could I ask you a few questions?
That is why I am here.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Historical voodoo, or the voodoo currently practiced in the city.
Tell me about historical voodoo.
Very well. I will start at the beginning, Mr. Knight, and will go on from there at your prompting.
Sounds good.
As you may know, voodoo is a grassroots religion, formed by the mixing together of many different African tribal religions and Anglo religions, such as Catholicism or Protestantism. In other words, it is a religion born of the African slave trade. But African slaves were imported not only by the United States, but also into the West Indies, where the French and Spanish ran plantation islands. Prior to 1803, the New Orleans area was owned by France. The French Creole in those days owned many African slaves. But the Creole did not permit their slaves to gather, giving no chance for voodoo to breed here natively. The Creole also knew enough about the corrupted pagan practices of the West Indies slaves to ban the importings of slaves from that region.
So how did voodoo come to New Orleans?
After the Louisiana Purchase, American legislators relaxed regulations. Slaves were permitted to gather. The Americans also removed the ban on West Indies slaves. Around the same time, a slave revolt occurred in Santo Domingo, what is now Haiti. Between the lifting of the ban and the Haitian Revolt, West Indies slaves began pouring into New Orleans. Some of them were free people of color, freed or escaped slaves. Some came with their white owners who were fleeing from the revolt.
What happened when the West Indies slaves got here?
They brought voodoo with them. The native slaves were more than enthusiastic about embracing it. It gave them power, Mr. Knight, if only in the form of a communal barn. Among the first meeting places were the Bayou St. John and the shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The early voodoos were heavy snake worshippers, worshipping the one they called the Great Zombie.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
By 1817, the voodoo activities were beginning to cause fear among the white slave owners. An ordinance was passed to forbid slave gatherings except in designated public areas at designated times. The time was Sunday afternoons, and the place, Congo Square. The slaves and free people of color gathered to dance simulations of their voodoo dances, right in sight of Creole society. Of course, they also continued to meet in private for the real thing.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
There were a variety of kings and queens at first, voodoo priests and priestesses. But from about 1830, a single power emerged. This was a voodoo queen named Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau ruled voodoo in New Orleans for many years.
Tell me about current voodoo.
Many people think of voodoo in terms of magic spells or gree-gree. That kind of practice is actually called hoodoo and is only a part of true voodoo. Voodoo, the religion, has a strong following in New Orleans. In fact, it is growing quite rapidly. There are several voodoo churches or temples in the city, and others all across the United States. African Americans see it as a tradition all their own. Whites, and there are many in the religion, are attracted to it because they think it is exotic. I personally am more interested in the history of voodoo. Some of the new movements are copying Haitian or even African voodoo. But it is the voodoo of New Orleans that I find so intriguing.
Tell me about Marie Laveau.
There were actually two Marie Laveaux, mother and daughter. Most people thought they were the same woman. Her continued youth added to the mystique. The original, the mother, was also known as Widow Paris. It was she that began the empire.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
The Laveau tomb, where one or both of the Maries are believed to be buried, is in St. Louis Cemetery No. 1. It is a popular shrine for practitioners and tourists alike. I myself take tours through the cemetery on a regular basis.
Really? Do you have any running this week?
No, but the cemetery is open to the general public as well.
What exactly is hoodoo?
Hoodoo refers to magic folk traditions of the South. Hoodoo is a bastard of voodoo. Many of the gree-gree are similar, but hoodoo does not have the religious aspects of voodoo.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Ah, you have perhaps noticed the museum snake, Mr. Knight? They are beautiful creatures. Do you not agree? And the tourists seem to associate them with voodoo.
Tell me about yourself.
Me?
Yes, if you don't mind.
What is it you wish to learn?
Why did you open a voodoo museum?
The subject has fascinated me all my life, and I wanted to help preserve the cultural heritage it represents.
What kind of background in voodoo do you have?
Let us just say I cut my teeth on it, Mr. Knight. It is in my blood.
Do you do anything besides run the museum?
No, the museum does not make me a rich man. But my material needs are simple. I prefer to focus on my one true interest in life.
What are your own religious beliefs?
My beliefs are too personal and too complex to discuss with a layman, Mr. Knight.
Just tell me anything.
I am originally from the West Indies myself, you know.
Really? What brought you to New Orleans?
I was drawn here for personal reasons.
Actually, I can't think of a thing.
Then let us discuss something else.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The killings in the newspaper. I know they have nothing to do with true voodoo in New Orleans.
What do you think of New Orleans?
It is the only city in the United States, as far as I am concerned.
Do you know this woman?
Magentia Moonbeam, yes. She is a local voodooienne. There are many of them in New Orleans. They often do business selling gris-gris, telling fortunes, providing luck, and occasionally misfortune. I often refer those who seek a deeper experience with voodoo to her.
A very large, very formidable-looking snake is secured in a plexiglass cage.
The python is quite dangerous. I would stay back if I were you.
Thanks for the advice.
There's a beaten-up old fan in the window. It's silent at the moment. Something about the shape of that knife gives Gabriel the creeps. Gabriel doesn't want anything to do with that knife.
Yeah, right. I'd probably cut my own head off with that thing. I'll be going.
Come back again.
Hello?
Huh?
Bonjour, Monsieur Walker.
Bienvenue, Madame Casanova. Comment ça va? How you be feeling today?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Walker. I'm certain someone's buried a sleep knot bag somewhere near my steps. I haven't slept a wink, not in weeks.
Now, don't that beat all? I'll need some easy night candles then, huh?
Do you think that would help? I do hope you're right. I said 3 rosaries this morning for Our Lady's intervention.
Rosary good, sure enough, but you buying them candles too, boy, you gonna whip any no-sleep gris-gris, I tell you for sure.
Very well, Mr. Walker. Put them on my account and send them around to my house. Oh, and there's another thing. I didn't catch her at it, but I know. Mrs. Lefebvre put stomachache powder in my tea at the last meeting of the Creole Grand Dame. I've been in misery.
Now, you put 9 pinheads up in a little box. Add a pinch of graveyard dust, put it up under her front post step. That'll turn the trick back on Miss Lefebvre, and she'd be the one with the bellyache. I got the pins of dust right here if you want them.
If the Blessed Virgin will grant me her protection, I'll be safe from these practitioners of evil.
Oui, madame. Though, don't hurt to be proactive none either now, does it?
Naturellement, monsieur. Merci beaucoup.
Mais non, madame. It's nothing. Au revoir.
Au revoir, Monsieur Walker.
It's nearly as old as the one at St. George's. The poster advertises a voodoo play from last fall. The Dixieland drugstore has a rather terrifying way of dealing with shoplifters. The entire shelf is stocked with containers of High John the Conqueror root powder. It's a mannequin wearing a crocodile mask. There's no room for him in the bookstore.
It must be the crocodile thing, but even I'm not interested in undressing that mannequin.
Garlic, cloves, and other dried goods and spices are collected in the bowls.
I know where to come if I ever have a vampire problem.
The sign says, Special St. John's Eve Lagnia. Free bottle of Lover Come Back to Me oil or Master Gambling oil with every purchase over $50.
Lagniappe. My French is lousy, but everyone in New Orleans knows what that means. A little something extra.
The sign says,
Lagniappe.
the proprietor doesn't look especially friendly. His business probably doesn't depend on walk-ins.
Hi there. Is this your store?
This the Dixieland drugstore. And I own it. Me. Name's Walker. Willie Walker.
What do you know about the voodoo murders? What did you say?
Nothing. Them killings have nothing to do with my shop, monsieur.
That customer of yours, the little old lady.
Customer?
The woman I saw in here, Madame Casino, you called her.
I don't talk about my customers to men who come in off the street.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It's the biggest night of the year in voodoo.
What goes on exactly?
I couldn't say.
What did you mean when you said Caprice encore?
I didn't say that.
You did. I heard you say it.
You heard wrong, monsieur. I said no such thing.
Can you tell me what you know about voodoo?
This is a novelty shop, monsieur.
Do you think I'm stupid? This is a voodoo shop. Look at all this stuff.
These is novelties, curiosities. If people want to think they magic, it's not my concern, you know?
Do you know anything about snakes?
What kind of snakes?
The kind they use in voodoo?
Pythons, boas, so I've heard.
Really? Do you have one?
Are you crazy? What would I want with a python?
What do you know about Marie Laveau?
Marie? She's somebody from the old days. One of them old folk tales. The tourists eat it up, no?
What do you think of New Orleans?
I live here all my life, me.
Are you telling me that you own a voodoo shop, but you know nothing about voodoo practices?
Ça fait n'est pas ça faire blanc.
What does that mean?
It means you should mind your own business, monsieur.
What do you think of New Orleans?
If you're not from around here, monsieur, you should sign up for some tours.
Tell me about yourself.
My name's Willie Walker. I own the place.
How did you get into this kind of business?
Now, why should I discuss my business with you, man?
So, this is a voodoo store, huh?
Voodoo? No, man. This is a curio shop. The things you see here are from local folklore. None of it real, I tell you for sure.
What about all these magic oils and powders you're selling? Aren't they a part of voodoo?
Read the label, man. We make no claims. Sold as curio only. It mean what it say, no? These are novelties, not voodoo.
So, do you get many tourists in here?
We, all the time. They want to buy a bottle of money-drawn oil or wang a bag to take home with them.
How's business?
About like always.
I'm a businessman too. I own a bookstore here in the quarter.
I don't really care, me. I got a store to run.
The Dixieland drugstore is crammed from top to bottom with strange merchandise, some or all of which seem to be related to the practice of voodoo. Dried herbs hang from the ceiling.
Those are gree-gree. They full of magic. No guarantee, though, you know.
Root bags, curio boxes, and magic candles. Sold as curios only. We cannot guarantee results.
Does this mean anything to you?
I don't know anything about that at all.
The entire shelf is stocked with containers of High John the Conqueror root powder.
Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Ask what you want. I answer what I want.
I don't know what that stuff does, but I don't like the sound of it.
St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 is one of the most historic and beautiful places in the quarter. Near the Laveau tomb is a piece of red brick, undoubtedly a cast-off from spiritual graffiti writers. Odd-looking marks adorn the Laveau tomb wall. The wall doesn't work that way.
I want a copy of these strange marks.
Gabriel can't put his sketch back on the wall. Here and there in the cemetery, straggly plants grow in stone planters. New Orleans is famous for its above-ground tombs. The high-water table prevents bodies from being interred underground.
No way. Something might answer.
The marble denizens of the cemetery only stare back blankly. This is the tomb of Marie Laveau, Voodoo Queen of Narlands. The tomb is securely closed. An angel draped dramatically over a stone plinth marks the entrance to a large tomb. The tomb door is securely shut against the material world. The plate is in locked position. There's a keyhole on the plate, but Gabriel can't operate that without a key. Two enormous vases flank the front of the Getty tomb. The imposing tomb is elaborately labeled Getty. An old man tends the cemetery with movements akin to a slow drawl.
I'm sorry to bother you.
You got something to say, son?
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Sure. She was the voodoo queen of Narlands, a powerful voodooian and a powerful sorceress. Believers still come to her tomb, you know. They write secret marks on the walls, leave offerings. Then there's the tourists. They come out of curiosity. As a matter of fact, that big Dr. John fella from that voodoo museum, he's here at least once a day. But Marie Laveau's tomb isn't the only one the believers visit and make markings and leave offerings at.
You said there were other marked tombs?
Yep. I've seen bull hearts left on tombs and a nest of vulture feathers, plates of peas and congreve. Animal parts, human parts even, it look like. Male parts, if you get my meaning. And this is one of the great family crypts, mind you. Odd how them types just pick a spot and stick to it.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
They say it was part of an old religion from Africa, brought here by slaves.
What can you tell me about Narlands?
Seem like everyone wants to visit Narlands at least once in their lives. And they love the cemetery tours. I see tourists in here every day of the year.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
Well, St. John the Baptist is the patron saint of voodoo. Sometimes we get weird goings-on in the cemetery on that night. More often on a few nights before. People taking grave dirt, bones, and who knows what.
That's pretty disgusting.
Yep. Don't know what they do in them, but it can be pretty.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery, number 1.
You know why the dead are buried in tombs and not in the ground, don't you? The water table's too high. Them coffins will float right out of their graves. Ha! Them dead will go floating right down into the Coda. Of course, if it were Mardi Gras, nobody'd even notice. It's a historical place. People buried in here from the Civil War. Back further, too. Take a look around. You'll see.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Isn't it just awful? Them finding those bodies with the voodoo things around them. I don't think there's any real voodoo going on. Somebody trying to cover their tracks is all.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? I see snakes around here all the time. Most of them aren't poisonous, of course. I don't mind snakes myself. Lots of folks are afraid of them.
Do you have any idea what Caprice Sanko means?
Nope, can't say that I do.
Tell me about yourself.
My name is Toussaint Gervais. I'm the watchman here at St. Louis No. 1.
What exactly do you do here?
Oh, I keep the place tidy, of course, but a big part of my job, too, is looking out for the grievers. You know, people come to pay their respects, and they need looking out for. Sometimes they so grief-bound, they don't know what they doing.
Tell me about yourself.
That's about all there is to say.
You been working here a long time?
Longer than you've been alive, son. I may perhaps be here longer than you'll be alive, for that matter.
A stone angel leans down to gaze at something unseen. The plate is in locked position. There's a keyhole on the plate, but Gabriel can't operate that without a key.
I don't need to go visit the family tomb today. Hey, Grace, here I am.
Oh boy, party time.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
I need you to look up a Madame Casino.
Madame Casino? Is she related to the murders the same way your friend Malia Getty was?
Grace, Casino's at least 70.
As if that makes a difference to you. Okay, I'll see what I can find. Anything else?
I can't think of anything. What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve? Never heard of it. Must be a local custom. New Orleanians love to party.
You know anything about Marie Laveau?
Wasn't she a big voodoo queen before the Civil War?
That's right.
Well, you've just heard everything I know about her.
Do you have any idea what Cabri Sanko means?
No. Sounds French, though.
Tell me about yourself, Grace.
What do you want to know?
Just tell me anything at all.
I've been studying Tai Chi for 10 years. It's a very spiritual discipline. I'm sure discipline of any sort isn't something that would appeal to you, Gabriel.
Nothing, I guess. Never mind.
Several dozen books, including a few of Gabriel's novels, occupied the shelves above his desk. Gabriel doesn't feel like reading right now.
See you later.
See ya.
Perfectly groomed hedges run along the front of the porch.
May I help you?
I'd like to see Malia Getty, please.
I'm sorry, but unless you have an appointment or official business, I cannot announce you.
I do have official business.
Really? Please tell me the nature of your business.
I'd really like to see Malia Getty.
I told you that unless you have official business with Ms. Getty, I cannot let you in.
My name is Detective Mosley. I'm here on police business.
Really? How interesting. Wait here. I'll inform Ms. Getty. Ms. Getty will see you. Right this way. Ms. Getty will be down shortly.
Thank you.
What can I do for you, Detective?
Beautiful women. They must be relatives.
They are.
Modern art?
More or less. It's a Picasso.
The only thing Gabriel's likely to burn here is his bridges.
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Miss Getty?
I assume that's what you're here for, Detective.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? Why would you want to know about that, Detective? It's rather silly, isn't it?
There's nothing silly about the voodoo murders.
But that voodoo is faked. That's what I've read in the papers.
That's what the papers say, all right.
But you're not convinced.
No, frankly, I'm not. The police department isn't known for its imagination.
Oh? Well, I can see that your imagination is considerable.
Tell me about your life in New Orleans.
The Getty family came to New Orleans in 1800. We worked very hard to get where we are. On the other hand, we've done a lot for this community.
I can believe that. You're doing a lot for me right now. What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I believe it's some sort of local holiday, but I don't know much about it.
What do you know about Marie Laveau?
I've heard of her, of course, but that's about it.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The murders? Only what I read in the papers.
And what do you read in the papers?
I'm sure you know much more about it than I, detective.
Can you tell me anything about what happened out at the lake?
I wish I could, but I've never seen or heard anything unusual at the lake, and I do spend quite a bit of time out there.
Excuse me, but your eyes are really distracting. I don't think I've ever seen a color quite like that brownish gold. It's so deep and rich. Man, if I could bottle that, I'd make a fortune.
Thank you, Detective. That's an interesting observation, though probably not relevant to your case.
A good detective never knows what might be relevant, Miss Getty.
Then you must be truly exceptional at your job.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm no expert. I don't fear them like most people do.
Do you have any idea what Cabri Saint-Caux means?
No, I don't. What does it mean, Detective?
That's confidential information, ma'am. Tell me about yourself.
I suppose I don't really have a choice. What do you want to know, Detective?
What kind of things interest you?
I don't have a lot of free time, but I do appreciate the arts. Opera, symphony, ballet, fine art. If you look around, you'll see that we collect African art, for example.
Yes, it's very beautiful.
It is, Detective. It means a great deal to me.
Do you have a career?
A career? Being the head of the Getty family is a 24-hour-a-day job. We have many holdings and many responsibilities, financial and otherwise. The management of our business affairs and properties leaves me with time for little else.
Poor little rich girl?
Believe it or not, Detective, wealth does have its price.
Tell me about your family.
The Gettys? We're a very private family.
How many people are there in your family?
Well, my mother just passed away.
Oh, I am sorry.
So am I. She was a magnificent woman. We were very close. I was an only child.
And your father?
I never knew him.
It's hard to believe that any man would leave a woman like you, or like your mother must have been.
He did not leave, Detective, but that's really none of your concern.
I'm sorry. Go on.
There are, of course, other Gettys in the city. I have a large extended family.
I see. Do you have a husband, boyfriend?
I'm very independent, Detective. The women in my family have always preferred it that way.
So you've never been married?
No, and I never will be.
What about children?
Yes, that is likely. Someday.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I have a business degree from Vanderbilt. I wanted to study psychology, but my family's interests came first.
Oh, why not something like law, then? Surely that would have been an asset to the family.
Law? Please. I do have some morals, Detective.
I wouldn't know where to begin.
As you wish, Detective.
I can't help noticing that you're in incredible shape, Miss Getty. Your legs are so strong. Do you work out at one of the clubs by the lake?
Well, Detective, I do enjoy physical activity.
Oh, me too.
Actually, I was referring to swimming and modern dance. I can't say that I do much exercising at the lake, though.
Ah, well, it was worth asking.
I think this has gone on long enough. You're not really a detective, are you?
Who, me? Well, I am on this case, Miss Getty.
I saw you at the lake yesterday. I thought you must be with the police since you were there, but you don't act like a police officer. Besides, I'm rather certain that the other man said his name was Mosley.
All right, you caught me. I'm not with the police. My name is Gabriel Найт. I'm a writer working with Detective Mosley on a book.
Well, Mr. Knight, now that we've established who you are, perhaps you can tell me the real reason you're here.
Well, I am researching the book, and I thought you might have seen or heard something at the lake.
I don't like liars, Mr. Knight.
Okay, you're right. I really just wanted to see you again. You can be mad at me if you want, but I swear I've never done anything like this before.
Mr. Knight, you've lied about your identity and wasted my time with meaningless questions. If it weren't vaguely flattering, I'd really be angry. You're lucky I don't call the real police. I think you should go, Mr. Knight.
Malia, wait. If you just give me a chance.
I've wasted enough time. I'll have Robert show you out. Robert? Show Mr. Knight out, please.
I most certainly will.
Thank you very much. I had a lovely time. Ah, shit.
Hey! Come back here. Hey! Oh! Unbelievable. Rotten luck.
How's it going?
Life sucks. I just lost 2 days worth of work.
What are you working on now?
Just starting another drawing of the cathedral.
Those drawing tools are amazing.
Yeah, they're great for laying lines, angles, circles, anything geometric. It's pretty meticulous, but I prefer it to freehand.
Can you draw anything with those tools?
They're great for ordered, complex forms and patterns, but they won't help me do Monet.
Gabriel can't reach the drawing from where he is. Gabriel can't bend the bars. He's too big to fit through them. And ooh, those spikes on top look sharp. A small boy is tap dancing enthusiastically for a doobie dog vendor. The vendor ignores him.
You dance pretty well for a kid.
Give me some money then.
I don't have any.
Then don't block the view, mister.
Do you do requests?
Got any money?
Nope.
Something to eat?
No.
There you have it. No.
Can you fit through the bars around the statue?
Got any money?
Nope.
There you have it. No.
Can't think of anything at the moment.
Okay then.
Could I get a doobie dog, please?
Not now, I'm busy.
An unambitious person in the 90s. Amazing. The vendor wouldn't be interested in seeing that.
I have this gift certificate.
I'm busy.
It's good for $20 at St. George's Books. Finest bookstore in New Orleans.
Really? I'll have to check it out sometime.
You could take this gift certificate with you. If you'll give me a doobie dog.
A doobie dog for a $20 gift certificate? Sure, here you go.
You wouldn't like a doobie dog by any chance.
Would I? Thanks, mister. You got any special requests? Let me know.
You mentioned something about special requests.
Yeah, you got one?
Can you fit through the bars around the statue?
Can I? Just watch me.
Good. There's something in there I can't quite reach. Can you reach that piece of paper?
Sure thing. Here you go.
Thanks, kid.
Yup. See ya.
Stupid wind. Now I have to start all over.
This belongs to you, doesn't it?
My drawing. How'd you get it?
Oh, it was a bit of a squeeze, but I hate to see you lose your work. I lost my only copy of a manuscript once.
Well, you saved my butt. Let me know if I can ever do the same for you, hey?
Is there any way you can reconstruct the whole pattern from these partials?
The pattern is probably circular, and there's some repetition in the elements. Okie dokie. Well, I think there's an area missing. If you could get me any more of these, I'll see what I can do.
I have another one of those patterns.
Really? Let's see. Yeah, this is great. I think there's enough overlap now. I'll give it my best shot. I'll show you what I come up with tomorrow.
Great. I appreciate it.
It's getting late. Gabriel decides to go home for the day.